Good morning, good morning. What's this Karen's comment? Gonna miss the stream, she has to catch a bus. Yes, I know Karen is, of course, she's up in Fukui Prefecture in the conference. And I got a picture here. I showed you this picture last week. This is a picture of the place where they do the papermaking and all stuff. And Karen will be at this very workstation later this afternoon. And probably with the same tooling that's there. That's Murata-san, one of the people who's doing the demonstrations. And this afternoon, Karen will be standing right there, rocking paper. It's her time, Saturday afternoon. So, Karen-san, video please. Lots and lots of video or pictures or whatever if you can. Well, of course, focus on the paper making, but let us know as much as you can. The thing is, they've been doing it for a few days. They've been doing it Thursday and Friday. Today's Saturday morning here in Japan. So that paper making workshop they've been doing, it's 3 sessions a day or something. Murata-san's been doing, like with 8 people, 3 times a day, all doing this. And they're making huge sheets of paper, kikuba. So the lady is on her 3rd day of doing this, and she may be zonked by now. So I don't know. Karen's in the final group, I think. So I'd like to be up there. Can't be helped, not right now. Good morning, good morning. Another wet day in Tokyo. The cherries are out in force, finally, all over town. Over in Ueno Park, a kilometer or so to the west of us, and over on the Sumida River, nearly a kilometer or so to the east of us. I walked up there last night, and they are there. The cherries are out everywhere. It's unfortunately wet, but can't be helped. It's not that cold. It's a little bit chilly, but can't be helped. And I think the forecast now for rain here in Tokyo is Saturday, rainy, Sunday, rainy, Monday, rainy, Tuesday, rainy. I'm sorry, can't be helped. This is what we get in the springtime. We are going to be carving, of course. The streams now for the next couple of weeks, whatever, are going to be carving. I did a bit of work on this one yesterday, sitting in the shop here. the shop yesterday. Is anybody out here who was in here yesterday? Well, we see the solar eclipse in Japan. No, this one's nowhere near us. Absolutely nowhere near us. It's the other side of the planet. This one's running across North America. Eclipses are very, very localized, you know. They're not planetary. This kind of eclipse is extremely localized. Paper is not out, Tom's asking. There's nobody up there today. We are, again, it's the same reason I told you the other day, you know. We're at the end of the Haruyasumi, the spring break for the school children. They're going to be mostly going back. It'll be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, they're going back. So we have no printers upstairs today. Nei-chan is printing like crazy, but she's doing it at home. She's working on the hokusai print for May. She's doing the hokusai print for May, but she's working at home to do that. Other jobs, Kubota-san is at home. He's working on the evening rain print, the one with the cat and the bonsai. Chiharu-san, she's working on, what is she doing? Oh, she's doing the 2nd batch of prints for the Spring Sunshine, the cafe print for April. People are busy. People are busy. We have some show and tells. We have show and tell stuff. Let me set them aside. They are small, but they are interesting. Socks, no problem. Your socks are safe, but they are interesting small prints for show and tell. This is not show and tell, but let's open it. I know it got dumped on my desk. Watanabe-san put it in my desk the other day. No, I understand, put it in my desk the other day. It's a magazine, apparently, and I don't know too much about this. We get requests quite frequently, people who have found images on our website, especially our new collection website, where the pictures are drop dead beautiful. And people ask us for permission to reproduce the images. And always, we just, of course, we say yes. Most of them are our old prints that we didn't publish ourselves, so we say yes. And this somebody, it's Ikebana. I don't know the pronunciation of the first, something Hana. I don't know the pronunciation here. It's one of the schools of Ikebana, and they must have, it's a spring, April issue for them. And somewhere in here, they asked us for permission to use one of our print images. Let's see if we can find it. Ikebana schools. My God, the members must pay such a fortune to get stuff in these magazines. So the school, the teachers, the whatever. Somewhere here. Yeah. A story about forging your special pair of Ikebana scissors, you know. Japan is just so crazy. When people get crazy about something, they get crazy about something. After you've got your special pair of Ikebana scissors, you have to get your special pouch to put them in. Prices. The pouch itself, 48,950 yen. That's for the pouch. Okay, I shouldn't be sarcastic here. Let's just go. Somewhere here, these people. Oh my God, Ikebana. Look at this. This is Ikebana with a difference. Woo. There must be a special something for the year of the dragon, I'm guessing. No idea. With a forklift. Making Ikebana with a forklift. Oh, look at this stuff. My God. Hey. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, this makes really sense. What they have done, they've done a story about the old book, Favorite Flowers of Japan. So, of course, they asked for permission to use a bunch of pictures from our website, from our collection. So these are taken from, there must be a credit here. We asked them to give us credit for this, Mokuhankan collection. So there we are, no problem. If anybody does want to use stuff from our website, in publications like this, we don't ask for payment. We don't ask for anything. We just say maybe it's nice if you give us a little note, give us a little memo, say thank you. And other than that, we're fine. We're fine with it. This will go in the file. Thank you letter from the people. That's all we need. Last thing I'm going to do is be secretive and holding on, We want to spread knowledge of interesting woodblock prints all over the place. And there it goes. Oh, this is interesting. We should maybe talk about this a bit later. This is not part of show and tell. Let me get started carving. This is my report card from the physical checkup I had. Remember a few weeks ago, I went to the hospital voluntarily for a 2-day checkup. And finally, they sent the report card. When's the last time I got a report card? Grade 12, I don't know. You don't want to see my grade 12 report card at all. Okay, here we go. This is this year's pair of chibis. It'll be the one that goes out in the spring and the one that goes out in the winter. John Amos again has very kindly come up with some designs for us. And John also, something's fell over. John also is really, what's the word? When you're working with some designers, they are really, how much is it going to be and how much can I get, stuff like this. John never even asks. He trusts me to pay him a reasonable fee. He's never, tight-fisted about this. He's never even, he doesn't even really seem to care. He trusts me to do this. So, and in recent years, the last couple of years, our Patreon program has really flourished very well. And I think it's time I increased what we paid to John for these. He never bugs me about it. With most of the people who work for us as designers, the question of payment to them is really actually quite simple because they're getting a royalty on something that we are selling. So every time we sell a print based on a design from somebody, they get a percentage of this, and each percentage is set up in advance. So every month they get an ongoing thing. But with these Patreon prints, these aren't actually something that's for sale. So there has been no easy way to calculate what kind of royalty we should be paying John for this. And as I said it, and when I was looking at it a while ago, when we were setting up for this one, I realized we're probably not paying John enough. So this time we will have to make sure we take care of it. And the borderline, this is happening now with Chon-san and with John. We've got these various, someone's talking about the borderline. popping across the border. This is not something that John invented. Hokusai did this all the time. And in our Hokusai series this year, we've started to play a little bit with it. The Hokusai print that's going out next month pops over the line in a couple of places, and Hokusai didn't actually do that. Our carver Chon-san has taken the liberty where something like this happened against the line. John has said, let's pop it out and let's make it a bit interesting. So this has become a bit of a trademark for some of the prints we're publishing here. Eggs. What are we getting eggs for here? I don't understand. Anyway, okay. Let's get carving. Today being a Saturday, we won't see Ayano-san at 9 o'clock, of course, because she's off. Sadako will probably be here at 9:15. And speaking of that, we have a staff situation here. Today is Saturday. There's normally 3 people here working as shop people, plus Dave. But in the past couple of days, 2 of the shop members who were supposed to be here today have, for good reason, they have had to cancel out. So today, it's just me and Sadako. We're going to do it by ourselves today. And we can do this, we can handle it, we're okay. But if it's another day like yesterday, then we are going to be Yesterday was one of the biggest days the shop's ever had. You've heard me say this all the time. 7 figures sold in the shop yesterday. And it's rare to get to 7 figures when it's not one of those days when a special black car pulls up outside. In other words, this was normal people, normal fans, normal customers. There was no, we don't talk about whales and stuff. We don't have those here at this place. But normal customers, normal fans. And it was over 7 figures, and it was raining. And if it's like that again today, with just me and Sadako, then it could get hairy because we had people lined up. We're standing there doing some checkout and somebody's waiting. They're happy, they're chatting, but somebody also is waiting. And if it starts to get like that today, I could be in big trouble. Hopefully people are friendly, they understand what's going on. But where it really gets funny is if somebody, put them all together, somebody buys one of the large prints and rather than shipping, they ask to take it. So that's no problem. We've got all of our packaging is prepared. Medium size, large size, small size. Bing, bing, pack, go. Thank you. But we've got some extra large prints here that we don't have a standard wrapping for them. So if people ask for one of those prints, then a clerk has to say, okay, good, give me a minute. And we run to the back room, cut some cardboard, and we prepare a custom pack for it. But that takes a bit of time. And if that happens today, when it's just me and Sadako here, then it could get a little edgy. I'm in the back room chopping up cardboard, somebody else is waiting, and somebody else is waiting on top of that. And then what will happen, I can sure one of these customers will be from the Netherlands. Why is that a problem? Because Netherlands passports don't read easily on our checkout system, for getting the tax-free. To get tax-free, we need to see the front page of somebody's passport. Click, click, take a picture of it to get the passport number. But passports from the Netherlands have some kind of super security thing on them, and they don't take a picture. So we have to type it in by hand. Why is that a problem? Because the passport number is A1, B2, C3. And you have to keep switching your keyboard back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I think it's a hotel loading outside. People coming and going from the hotel, I think. I don't think it's any construction or anything. I think it's just hotel. Hey, Saeed-san is here. Well, thank you very much, sir. Awkward as you were. No, I'm sorry. It was too crowded to have a chance for a comfortable conversation. But thank you. And thank you again for the wonderful support of our work, sir. I keep meaning to put a map on the wall, with pins showing where people are from. And there's been a few people from your country. Not too many. There would be 2 or 3 or 4 pins. But just to show all over the world where people are coming from. And your country is not too well represented for us. So thank you very much for coming. Again, I'm sorry not too much chance to chat yesterday. So, and if it's today, if it's as busy as it was yesterday again, then I don't know what to do. I don't know. John's saying, you know, set up a Bluetooth keyboard, one more thing to set up and one more thing to go wrong. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. The gentleman who just posted here, you know, saying that he was in yesterday. This type of experience is, it's fun. We've talked about this before. The gentleman here who did come in yesterday I've never met him before, so it's no problem. I didn't know who it was. This happens every day. People come in, they know me, I don't know them. So this is just fine. They introduce themselves, and now we're okay. We have a short conversation, and away they go. The problem for me comes, of course, when this person or any other person, whatever, comes back next year, or maybe next year, the year after that. And now the onus is on me to remember who it is, and it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. First time meeting people, my conscience is clear. I don't know who they are. I've never met them. But the second time round, that's when it gets tough. So. Trying to keep up with all this, sorry. Come on, print parties, you gotta be kidding. People talking about the print parties. We get asked, you know, every day of the week, with no exception, no exaggeration, every day of the week, in the mailbox, in the morning, whatever. People are asking for print parties. We can't erase it from the internet. It's off our website, but it's all over the internet still. Videos and everything about these print parties. So still people want to do the parties, and it's really sad. We just can't possibly do it. Just absolutely, we can't possibly do it. So. The crows, we've got an outside microphone here today. So the crow sounds you're hearing, I think, are from here. Maybe they're from your local, I don't know. But yes, there are lots of crows here today. So we've had really a garbage problem, you know. Oh, I should have prepared a picture for you. I know we took some pictures the other day with garbage Friday and Tuesday. The crows in force are attacking the garbage on this street over the past few weeks. I don't quite know why. Mokuhankan's garbage, for the most part, is safe because we don't have food garbage. We've got just bits of paper and wrappings and stuff like this. Ours is all straight burnable for the most part. But we're surrounded on both sides by restaurants and bars. And some of these guys, they throw out, it's the rule. We're supposed to throw out kitchen trash in the burnable garbage. This is here in Taito City where we are. In Ome, where my home is, that's not how it works. But here in Taito, in the burnable garbage is also where you're expected to throw out your kitchen waste, your banana peels or stuff like this, whatever, that sort of stuff. It doesn't make sense. That should go composted, but that's not how we do it here in Taito. So as a result, these bars and stuff all up the street, and the Korean restaurant, no, because they've got their own garbage pickup. But anybody who is not big enough to have a custom garbage pickup, they put it out on the street. And the crows are on this. The crows have learned, and we've got a massive problem. They get in the bag during the night, pick it out, and when we come down in the morning, there's garbage strewn everywhere. And it's become a bit of a crisis. The first step from the city was to say, look, people, don't put your garbage out at night. Put it out in the morning at 8:15, just before the 8:30 pickup. Problem is, the bars and stuff, there's nobody here in the morning at 8 o'clock. They close up at 10, 11, 1, 2 o'clock. They put their garbage out, everybody goes home. So there's nobody here at the bar to put their garbage out at 8 o'clock in the morning. So there's things, there's nets to go over the things, there's stronger bags, there's what, they're trying to upscale the war back and forth between the crows and the garbage. So the kanji on the lamp behind me says Mokuhankan. It's our company name. Can I do this? Mokuhankan. It's the 3 characters that make up our shop name. Someone says it is a turf war, rats and crows. There are rats here, but I really don't see hordes of them. Every now and then at night, if I'm coming back later after dinner, whatever, I'll see a rat scurry down between 2 buildings. But you don't see it every day, and there's no hordes of rats all over the place here. There are here, clearly, there's rats. We have rats/mice in our building, but there's no hordes of them here. The current problem is crows. I didn't prepare pictures, but if one of the mods can maybe remind me about this later when we're offline, I'll prepare a couple of pictures of that for next stream. Now what's this? It seems to be the body line of the fish, but we have a fin here. So is John trying to give me some transparency here? Is that what this is? Is that fin transparent, or did he just drew the body of the fish first, then put a fin on and didn't erase the line in the middle? What's your consensus, gang? What should I do with that line in the middle there? Not quite sure. My first impression is that I think we perhaps really don't need that, but I'm really not sure. What's on the other fish? Someone's asking. Let's go over here and see. Nothing specific here. Do carp have transparent, what is it, a dorsal fin? Is that what you call it? Is that on the back of the carp? Right? These are, whatever, left and right fins. I don't know the names, fish names, I'm sorry. That's a fin on the back. I think a dorsal fin. Check with John. Who's got the time for that? John, are you here? I don't think so. Tell you what, okay, I'll leave it for now. Somebody says it's the dorsal fin, pectoral fins. I don't know all these names. I wouldn't remember 2 minutes later anyway. Okay, Tom. I hope a Bactrian fin. I hope you're making that up. Don't put wrong ideas in here, please. I've got enough trouble in here without starting something like that. Oh my God. I tell you, I'm losing it actually, because that's what I should have said, you know. I should have come up with that myself, you know. Ah, well. Come for the printmaking, stay for the camels. Although, come to think of it, we do have another issue here. If I were to make that transparent, or if I were to leave it off, it very, very much dramatically affects how I will be making color blocks for this print. When you think about it, right? There's going to be a fish color or coloring or something on the fish. We haven't figured that out yet. It could be a red and white koi or something, or it could be a yellowish koi or something. There will be clearly a water tone, a background tone here. Now, if that fin was not transparent, then the fin gets colored with some kind of fish color. It matches this, or, the body and fins could be different, but still, it would be a fish color. But if that fin is transparent, if transparent enough to show the outline of the body here, then it means this area of the thing would have to show fish body color edited by the presence of a fin. And we do this before. When there's a piece of glass in there, the area behind the glass and outside the glass has to have a different color. And then the water block would be affected by the transparency of the fin. So Dave here, in the interest of keeping this print relatively simple to make and relatively clean and clear, Dave here does not want to make a transparent fin here. If this was a larger, more interesting print, like the cat series, the bonsai with the glass, showing the transparency in there, then we go for it. We pour in the resources and we go for it. But for a simple Patreon print that we really have to keep our costs down, I'm sorry to talk about that, but that's the way this all works. I'm sorry. I am leaning towards no transparency. Somebody brings it up, we get the same thing here now, but this one doesn't show the line of the body of the fish. So I am really thinking that line is going to be coming out, and we have a straight, simple fish and a simple fin and a nice water behind it. Someone says, leave it in for now and chop it out later. That's of course what I'm going to be doing, but I'll check with John on this to see what he wants. But I really doubt we will be able to afford the resources to make this thing into full transparency on a print of this type. Another issue here too, poking out of the water. I know I haven't gone ahead with John to talk this. These fish are in water, but you know how koi carp do this. They come up to the top and they poke their mouths out and they do that. And I would guess we're looking at some ripples here as these mouths maybe poke out of the water. And that would add a whole other level of complexity here. So I'm very much leaning towards no special transparent here. Someone's also, Thomas, talking about gradients. There are not going to be a lot of small gradients on these prints. There's probably going to be a gradient maybe in the water tone to give a nice body to the full print. But we're not going to have 10 gradients all over the body of the fish. This has got to be a simple, clean print. So we'll see. So for now, I'll sort of cut what I can see here. But my guess on where this is going to go is, as I mentioned there. So many decisions, And maybe, somebody's out there thinking, why is Dave, this is a print to give to the Patreon people. Why is Dave already talking about how to make it cheaper and, less extravagant? Well, it's not. There's a window that it has to fall within. Every single print we make has its own, its own cost balance, what it costs to make it. Everything we do has to work within that kind of a framework. A lot of activity out there today. I guess it's hotel guests coming and going. Ice cubes, no idea what they are. Fish food, I presume. Is there a specific kind of cubic fish food they feed to koi? Someone's asking about when they were in here last October, they bought 3 prints here. I have no idea what you got. I did not carve every print in this building at all. I mean, we've got hundreds of prints here. I'm not sure what you got. If you got some of the newer prints in the shop, the ones generally on the right-hand side here, the prints are in 2 groups here. If you got a print that's labeled Mokuhankan Fine Woodblock Prints, it's one of the ones that we made ourselves here. If you got a print from what's called the Mokuhankan Flea Market, then that's our antique corner. We didn't make those prints. So Nickelodeon, I can't answer your question without knowing more detail. But no way did I carve every print in this shop, not at all. Not in one lifetime. We have these conversations every day with people here, and in the previous incarnation of the shop, the one upstairs here on the 2nd floor, before we moved downstairs, I had put up a wall panel that tried to explain exactly how this sort of thing worked. We color-coded the prints. There was a yellow dot, a red dot, a blue dot, whatever, on the labels for each print. And I had an explanatory panel that showed the red dot prints. These are the ones carved right here in-house by Dave and the team, blah, 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 blah. The yellow dot prints, these are prints that we didn't make, but they came from other publishers who are currently working in Tokyo, blah, blah, blah. The blue dot prints are from our antique corner. They were made in the 20th century, blah, 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 blah. Nobody read it. Nobody ever looked at it. The panel was on the wall. It wasn't a wall full of text. It was concise and clear, but nobody ever saw it. Nobody ever read it. So we gave up putting it on the shop. And there is no panel on the wall now explaining these things. And many people ask, did you carve all these? Are they all new? What are they? And myself or the staff just explains carefully. We've got it figured out how to explain it without starting a long lecture. But it is confusing every single day, any number of times a day. And the number one question is people ask, are these reproductions? And we've had this conversation many times, and there's no simple way to answer that, because what they mean by the word reproduction, we don't know until the conversation starts. Reproduction could mean it's an offset print, offset printed reproduction, which we don't have. Reproduction could, the other different versions of this. So, if you've got something 53 stations of the Tokaido, then no, I didn't carve that. The print you would have there would be a print made in the post-war period, 1960s, 70s, perhaps the 1980s. We have many prints of the Tokaido here that were published by Japanese publishers in that period. And that's what you've got there. I didn't carve that one. The wombat discussion, things that I didn't know that I needed to know. All right. My God. Come for the Japanese printmaking, stay for the wombat poop news. What are we doing here on this stream? And like you just made that up, right? That's not real news, is it? So I also feel a bit sad, and I can't do anything about this. I feel a bit sad for people that see these streams later on in a YouTube incarnation. Some of the fans are taking these Twitch streams we do, and I don't want to do this, put them up on YouTube. But some of the fans are doing that. It's okay. It's cool with me. They've asked me before. I've said, just go fine, do whatever you want. So some of these streams are up on YouTube, but the chat's gone. There's no chat there. So what did I just talk about now? Wombat poop. I mean, somebody seeing this years from now is not going to make sense. The question for me, how do I take care of my hands? Is that a question for me? I do nothing. I do nothing. I do nothing. I wash myself once in a while. I do nothing. This is not heavy labor. My God, the heaviest labor I do is I use a hammer now and then. My hands are not the hands of a heavy laborer. If I were a full-time carver, carving all day, every day, you would be able to, if the ultimate Sherlock Holmes could tell that I was a woodblock carver, because underneath my finger here, there is a patch of hard skin here. This skin here is hardened and slightly calloused, because when I push this, you know, you've seen me, I'm holding back the knife with here. So the skin under here is slightly calloused. If I were a full-time printer, then you absolutely would be able to tell from my hands, because as I do the printing with the Baron, lots of pressure, your knuckles are on the thing and the palm of my hand is on the thing. So a printer's hand, well, you got a little bit here. The knuckles of a regular printer will show calluses or hard spots, and the palm of a printer's hand, here for many printers, in different locations for other printers, this area will show as calloused and hard, because that's where you grab the Baron and are constantly pushing under here. Dave here no longer does enough of this work to have a physical effect on my body. Taran-san, our carver, will have those calluses. Kubota-san, our printer, will have hand calluses. I no longer have that stuff. The only calluses on my fingers now are the fingertips from typing on a bloody computer keyboard. We talk about carpal tunnel, and again, I've been doing this repetitive work now for 40 years, and we don't have that here. I know I've never, in all the years I've been here in Japan talking to these craftsmen, I have never, and I'm not exaggerating, the word never is an absolute. I've never come across any example of a Japanese craftsman in this field having what you would call carpal tunnel, having wrist problems like this. All of our workspaces are, they're ergonomic from an era before the word ergonomic was invented. The carving bench I'm on now, I'm not sure if you can see it here, is tilted slightly up at the back so that when we're sitting here working, the wrist line is straight. If the desk were flat, you end up with your wrist bent at an angle to try and keep on a flat surface. The carving desk is tilted up this way, and the printer's desk is tilted the other way, so that the part against your waist is high, it slopes down, and as you're printing again, as much as possible, your wrist line stays straight. I'm sure those of you who are talking about carpal tunnel from typing or whatever, it's because as you're typing, you've got your wrists bent at an angle. You've got your keyboard, click, 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 click. Dave, I'm not a doctor, I'm Dr. Bull, Dr. Bull, but the point being, if you can arrange your typing setup so that your wrist line is straight, you're not typing down, you're not typing up, I think following our experience here, you would really, really, really reduce the problems. Keep the wrists straight, no matter what it is you're doing. And I think you would reduce that kind of problem. That's our experience here. Take your medical advice from a woodblock printmaker, get what you asked for, but our experience here. Video games, I don't know, I have no experience there, but the same thing. Just try and keep your wrists as straight as possible. It's Dr. Bull, not MD Bull. My name is, as typing here, my name is Dr. Bull. That's my actual real legal name. Well, DR are initials, of course. Speaking about Dr. Bull, then, should we sidetrack for a minute? And can I show you my report card? The last time I got a report card, I would have been 17 years old or something, high school. I got a report card. It's in Japanese. And obviously there's no terrible news here, or I wouldn't be showing it to you. But I got my report card. It's not from the government. It's from It's from, actually it's sort of from the government, because the hospital I checked in to do this is one of Japan's major hospitals. It's massive. This is like blocks and blocks of hospital stuff. It's a major institution, and this was expensive. I checked in for 2 days, and I paid how much? 220,000 yen for this. I don't know what that is in dollars, wherever you are. 220,000 yen. So this was expensive, but I thought it was worthwhile to do this. It's all in Japanese, and a lot of it I could read, and a lot of it I couldn't read. But the thing they've done, I've never seen this in Japan before. The reports are graded with the same grading method that I had in elementary school back in Alberta. They give A, B, C, D, E. And I've never seen that in Japan before. I've never seen it. It's always numbers, it's grades, whatever. But it's A, B, C, D, E. So here I've got my report card. I'll give you a quick taste. They've wrapped it all up at the back here, all in one shot, all the different places here. This is my report card. A, E, A, B, D, B, B, A, B, A, B, A. That's the big report card. Okay, who can guess? The E, I flunked. Totally, I flunked the E. Anybody who can read the Japanese here, you know why I flunked. Another one is marked in red. It's another fail, and it means take action immediately. So I have two things here that are not perfect, and all the rest of it, I have aced it. A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, A. Just quick rundown. General health, general whatever, everything, I'm an A. Top, no problem. Audio, ears, everything. A, no problem. We can get to the chase here. The E is, of course, my eyes. I have advanced glaucoma in one eye. It's not marked as red, which means there is no intervention that's possible at the moment under their saying, but I flunked this totally. I have advanced glaucoma. This is not news. We knew this, and it's coming. Next one is circulation, blood, etc., etc. All the numbers here, blood pressure 134/87, A. They've got the range of stuff that's acceptable here. Long as they've put me at B. And when I asked her about this, she said that you do the capacity, you breathe in and then breathe out. And she thought the capacity was lower than it should have been for someone of my age. So they give me only a B. Gastric, upper stuff, B. They found a tiny polyp in my stomach, so they couldn't give me a clear A. Nothing they want to take out. This is the D, the one that they marked in red. There is a large polyp in my lower intestine. And I'm going, April 23rd, we're going in there, and they are going to chop it off. What's next? Internal, all the organs. They did this with ultrasound examination, pancreas, kidneys, liver, whatever. They've given me a B because in the gallbladder, they found again some tiny cysts. Nothing that they want to work on. What's this? This is blood work. It's all A. They do all the tests for all the different stuff and the things they find in your blood, the enzymes, whatever. Totally, absolutely A. The diabetes risk and checkup is A. What's this? This is something to do with blood work again. It's B. Oh no, this one was the diabetes. Yeah. Maybe somebody can explain this one to me, because I didn't get the good explanation from her. It was this one. It was slightly out of range. It's something to do with your blood, HbA1c, and they have a star. So I'm 5.6, which was at the tiny bit high range of what they wanted. Doesn't seem to be dangerous, but whatever. What's next? This is all this again, blood work. It's all the different things they're testing inside your blood. HIV negative, coronavirus negative, A. So that's it. This is how we do this in Japan. People keep saying, wow, I wish I had this in some other country. This is not free. I had to pay for this. But there it is. At the end of it, she sat there, I think I told you about this, she went down this and she flipped back, how old are you? 72, the numbers that came up. Other than the one polyp, which they are going to take out of there, I've got as good a mark as I would expect to get. And why it's DNA. None of this is because I'm a good boy, it's just my DNA. I didn't control much of this. Yes and no. I do exercise well. I do eat moderately. I do sleep well. But this isn't because I'm a good boy. It's because just my DNA is controlling these things. None of this is really up to me. although Dave here wants to be proud of being in good condition and being in good health, it's not because I'm a good boy. You know, there's a bit of a paradox here. My brother, same family, same upbringing, same everything. He is severely overweight. He does different things to himself, doesn't exercise. But it's not because I'm a good boy and he's a bad boy. Our DNA is just telling us what to do, you know. It's a bit paradoxical. I want to be proud of my accomplishments and achievements, but you know, I don't think it was really up to me. I really don't think so. The older I get, the more I'm convinced of this. You know, we got that DNA start and the environment start, but that's also the same thing. The DNA I got from my parents and the environment I got from my parents is based on their DNA. So it's all circular. It goes around and around and around, you know. If you follow that to its logical conclusions, yeah, none of us are responsible for anything that happens to us. I really don't want to go that far. I don't think that's true. I want to think as much as I can that the good things that have come to me, the good person that I think I am, are because I have consciously done this. But pretty much all the evidence is in the other way around, you know, that I had nothing to do with any of this. The dice rolled on that one night when my mother and father did what they did one night back in early 1951. The dice rolled. And that's the DNA combination I got. No idea, no idea. Yeah, the environmental thing or how you behave, but how I behave is also based on the DNA, you know. And John's got this, you know, I'm proud of that achievement because I worked so hard for it. I've been spending a lot of time thinking about this recently, you know, not just this medical thing, but our business is going well and people tell me how wonderful I am and all the fans come in and it's all, there's the praise, praise, praise coming. And I've been wrestling with this now for the past couple of years, especially since the end of the pandemic. I want to feel, I did this so cool because I'm so good and so smart. But all the evidence is the other way around, that this is just nothing to do with me, you know. Free will, you know, the free will. I read a book, what's his name, Spolsky, a while ago. He wrote a book a year or 2 years ago called Determinism. I think it's called Determinism. And he puts down the thesis, and he goes right to the end. His needle goes to 100. In this book, he makes the thesis that we have absolutely zero control. That not only is our general life pattern controlled by the accumulation of all the things that have happened to us up to now, but he says, are you going to lift your left hand or your right hand? Which one am I going to lift? Am I going to lift my left hand or right hand? His thesis is it's already determined, that it's already determined, that the billiard balls are working all the way down and it's going to be my left hand that I raise. But he thinks that was determined. No, I don't. I think free will. Part of this is desperation. I want to believe that I'm in control here, but part of it is... well, I can't give the whole thesis now. I'm working on the next video. You know, we did the meaning of life, and the next video is going to be, not the next video, but the next video in that series is going to be, you do have free will, and I'm going to prove it to you. That's going to be, and the video is going to be basically a rebuttal of the last 5% of Spolsky's thesis. You know, I accept the first 95% of it, as I mentioned to you earlier. My medical report is nothing under my free will. That's controlled by my DNA. But the last 5%, how to make that jump from the billiard balls into which hand am I going to lift this time? If only I had some time. I want to make that video right now, today, this afternoon. But it's a huge discussion. It's a huge thing. I think actually when you think about it, that particular question, how much of what we do is really something that we ourselves have chosen to do, and how much is beyond our comprehension and control. It's pretty much the biggest question for me for a human being alive, you know. I can't imagine a question that's bigger. The creation of life back when the molecules first started bouncing, whatever, that's a big one, but doesn't affect us at all. Can't worry about that. But the here and now for each of us, living every day, getting up in the morning, doing our things and talking to people, how much of this is under our control? How much should we feel we could try and improve? How much can we set goals and try and get there? And how much of this, it's going to happen no matter what we do? That's a huge, huge, huge question. And whatever, there are none bigger. John's got it. Sorry for people who look at this video later. John's got a wonderful comment here. These are indeed existential questions. And you're not German enough to answer them. I think I am, John. Someone says, was I always meant to be a printmaker? No. Well, in as much as I understand this at the moment, I don't follow the billiard balls, you know. Now, the billiard ball theory, Spolsky's theory says, yep, if we had no way to tell what was coming up, but I was going to be a printmaker. It was just in there from the beginning. That I do not believe. The general pattern of my life, a lot of the stuff on that report that I just showed you, was in there from the beginning. But the expression of this stuff, remember in that Meaning of Life video I talked about this. You put a bunch of dirt high enough to call it a mountain, and you throw some water on the top of it, call it rain, and it will cut a river down the side of that mountain. All those rivers will be the same, but every one of those rivers will be different in detail. And that's so, no, it wasn't foreordained that I would be a woodblock printmaker. Of course not. It was foreordained that I would be the kind of person that I am now. Still, there's no way that could have been changed. So this river looks like this river, but it's different from the other possible incarnations. Absolutely. I could have been still making classic guitars. I could have been doing something else. I could be in jail. There's lots of possible outcomes for this. It's a hugely interesting question. I don't have the thesis ready for that video yet, and I'm still trying to cross that last gap that Spolsky put down, that it's all billiard balls, even at the quantum level, bang, bang, bang. An action can't happen in this universe without, you know, this thing must move based on the inertia it had or another billiard ball hitting it. And that other billiard ball's already out there. So his thesis was there is no possible way we can have an action taking place in this universe that wasn't predicted 1 second before it by the position of the billiard balls. And he takes this to the ultimate conclusion that what word is going to come out of my mouth next, you knew what word was going to come out, is predicted by the billiard balls. Whatever. Anyway, this is not the time and place, because as I said, I don't have this thesis ready to present to you. It works like this, and this, and this, and this, and this. It's still coming together in my mind. So it's an interesting book. I sort of could recommend it. If these are ideas that you really have been thinking about and want to play with, that Spolsky book is interesting. My book is damaged at the moment in 2 places. The spine is broken, where I threw it against the wall, because I think he, as much as a supremely interesting person he is, and as much as he's done so much good thought on this, and he's obviously a super smart guy, I think there's some intellectual cheating in there, where he says, and we do this, and we do this, and we do this, and we do this, and here we are. And he skips a whole bunch of stuff inside saying, oh, we didn't need to do that, you know. Whatever. 3 seconds off? What? Somebody's computer clock is something. Blame it on the billiard balls. Blame it on your mom and dad. Fair enough? Fair enough. Yeah, somebody's also making us on the consciousness. We're very much wrapped up in the same thing exactly. So it's the same question looked at from another point of view. Absolutely, absolutely. That's part of what makes it so very, very difficult to talk about. whatever. Sorry, just to dump this on you and not have a resolution for you, but I don't know how we started. I know. Oh yeah, the medical report. Yeah, yeah. The medical report of my DNA, not me, but. Come for the Japanese printmaking, stay for the books being thrown against the wall. It was a fun book to read, but at the beginning it was a fun book to read, but it got more and more and more frustrating. You know, he just tries to overwhelm you by, it's a little bit Trumpian. He might, if he were here, he would be really, really upset to hear me say this. But there is an aspect to that book. This is where it comes in with the intellectual dishonesty. There's an aspect to that book which he has learned, his way of presenting an argument, he has learned from Trump, in which you can say anything you want. It might be logical, it might not be logical. If you repeat it often enough, if you bang him over the head with it often enough, if you skip over the parts that you don't want to talk about, half the people out there are going to say, yeah, that's true, that's right. And Spolsky, to me, has done this with his book. He has repeated again and again and again, saying the same story 55 different ways, skipping over the parts that don't quite match his story, and people believe it. But that's one reason why I said the book to me was a little bit intellectually dishonest. Although, if he were here in the room, oh my God, he's such a good debater and talker, I'd be wiped against the wall, probably, so whatever. So I'm not really sure if I should recommend the book for you. I know, because one of two things will happen. You will say, oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, he's right. Or you will say, this guy's up. You'll throw the book against the wall. So neither of which response is what I want to happen. So whatever. How did we get on that? But yeah, you do have free will, and Dave is trying to work out his thesis and how he can prove that to you. So, to himself as well, of course. When I say free will, what I mean is, in the general sense that we understand it when we're just having conversation, as in, when I get up today, I know, like I went to the pool yesterday. Is that because of my free will? No, I just fell into a rut. I'm in a rut of going to the pool each morning. It's my free will because I did get up and I say, I will now go to the pool, and I went to the pool. But in reality, I went to the pool because it was pre-programmed, because I've fallen into this. So when I say free will, what I mean is that in the sense that we understand it, I'm moving my life in the directions that I want it to go. I'm going to come up with ideas that weren't there yesterday. Not simply because the billiard balls bang together, but because Dave himself can look at this mix of ingredients and make a recipe that wasn't there yesterday. And when I say we have free will, that's the kind of thing I'm thinking about. Whatever. He spends all his time on that book. There's the switch. Which way are you going to press the switch, left and right? And I'm not interested in switches. I don't care about switches. Simon Sinek's Leaders Eat Last. I know nothing about this book. I'm sorry. I've never heard of the name. Are you recommending it? Leaders Eat Last. What's the general drift? What's the idea there? That sounds like a book about being a leadership where you have to have empathy for people and take care of the people around you rather than all thinking about yourself. Is that what it's about? I'm not sure. Yeah, the beard checks out. It does, I know. I know, I know, I know. The beard checks out. I know, on Huntley, probably the same thing. I criticized that gentleman just now in his book for the way he presented his arguments. In other words, he did what he wanted to do. He put an argument in place, showed how he arrived at that, showed another way how he arrived at it, tried to convince you that it was a good argument. I mean, of course, that's sort of what I'm doing right now, the same thing. When I did my Meaning of Life video, I did the same thing. Here's what I believe. I put some facts on. See. So I did the same thing. I mean, that's sort of how debate and intellectual exchange of ideas happens. You know, each person believes something, puts their information on the table. So I shouldn't have been, you know, when I compared him to Trump, that was really kind of a terrible thing to do. But I said that I did that because I really felt that somebody of his intellect and his ability to marshal ideas and put them together, I felt was being a bit intellectually dishonest, and that he had skipped over the parts where it didn't really match his thesis. But of course, we all do that. It's not our responsibility to argue the opposite side of a debate. Of course not. So whatever, take it with a grain of whatever. So what is it, just after 9 o'clock? Sadako should be here soon. She comes in about 9:10 or so, right? 9:10, 9:15 is when she arrives. We'll finish off with a show and tell, and then Dave, with her help, is going to get ready for what possibly could be one of the busiest days of my life. No idea. If you're out there and if you are going to drop in today, I'll be happy to see you, but if I'm not totally available to spend a lot of time chatting today, because it could be very, very, very busy, please understand. You know. It's a combination of circumstances. One of the employees who was supposed to be here today has injured. He's injured his knee, I think, and not able to come. And one of the other ladies who was supposed to come here, this is her second job. She doesn't work for us full-time. It's her second job. And because this is April, the March-April changeover, her other job is making huge demands on her time at the moment, and she's not able to be here. And that, I think, is Sadako coming in. Yes, good morning, good morning, good morning. Right on time.
I came from that direction.
Yeah, you can.
By the camera.
No way. Is that a true story? You can't win. I'm sorry, you can't win. What a wonderful story. If it's of any benefit to you, we only saw you for just a split second. You know, your pink jacket there. Yeah. We couldn't see you like 6 minutes walking down towards the camera. So please don't worry about that. So. One way to tell Sadako is usually, not always, but on a rainy day is when I will face it this way, because the sunshine. On a sunny day, the sun shines from that direction into the camera. So I can't focus it this way on a sunny day. So if it's a sunny day, you're safe coming from that side. But on a rainy day, you take your chances.
I've learned.
It's okay, sorry. Not automatically guaranteed. So it's the fault of the billiard balls. We'll explain later. So. Also, I don't know how much you saw the emails back and forth, whatever. I know Nakazawa-san is off today again, isn't he? And Mori-san is also off today. She's way too busy with the opening of the year stuff at SoftBank and couldn't come. So it's you and me.
Wow.
You and me today. We get a date here today to run this shop. So Dave and Sadako on a date with potentially hundreds of visitors. No idea. We can do it. We're okay. We're both confident and we're both capable. So we can do this. So it starts. So it starts. You heard the music. Again, those of you know what's going on. It means that there was orders overnight for some of the goods that are in the shop. So before we can open the door today, we have to hunt and search for the items that sold last night in order that we don't sell the same thing twice. So you got this. We've been together now for 30 odd years. We're okay. We can do things well together. We can do things. Where was I? Trouble finding something?
Horizontal. It's unusual. Beauty is horizontal.
Beauty's horizontal, what?
Yes. Here.
Oh, okay. That is an unusual one. I think that's one of the Taisho era colotype prints.
Okay.
It'll be in miscellaneous. It probably is not in.
Miscellaneous.
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Miscellaneous, but it's horizontal miscellaneous. Could be.
Maybe. Yeah.
Someone's asking how long before show and tell? Seconds before show and tell. John, ban yourself, okay, please? You're cooking with gas today. John here is cooking with gas, absolutely. Would I watch this stream if I wasn't sitting here in front of the camera? Would I actually watch all this? I don't know. I don't know. Okay, we have two items. It's funny, eh? Look at this. I know, everything we get today is coming in one of these same envelopes. These are the post office letter pack light envelopes. We got two things today. One is a small, actually it's not so small. In fact, both of these things are actually folded in here. These are not small little prints. And what we've got is a Sudimono print in one of these envelopes. I don't know which is which. And we have a poster in the other one. They're both woodblock prints. Let's see which is which. And these are things that we got from Yahoo auction over the past week or so. Green tape. Yeah, they're folded. I mean, they weren't folded just to put in here. They were items that had been folded many, many years ago. When you've got a woodblock print that's yay big, it just gets folded. That's all there is to it. You know, most typical people who own woodblock prints don't have, you know, portfolio drawers and stuff. Stuff gets folded. That's all there is to it. So what we have here is a surimono print, which all I can guess at the moment, it seems to be from the Meiji period. And that's pretty wide. That's a very, very long time. It's like 40 years or something, 44 years. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to pin it down any more carefully than that. We've talked before about surimono prints. They were prints that weren't for sale. They weren't items that were made and then put into shops as an article of commerce. The typical surimono print in the old days was privately published and made for some reason that was, as I said, it wasn't just put in a shop for sale. Now, Sadako and I looked at this on the photograph the other day when we bought it on the auction, and we know a little bit about this, but not too much. Let's have a look. Okay, first, this is a woodblock print. The whole thing. It's everything you see here, the calligraphy and the pictures are carved. It's beautifully, beautifully, beautifully done. The line drawing and the carving is very typical of the kind of prints that we know as kuchie. If you look at the carving on this horse and the face and this guy's kimonos, this is line for line, absolutely exact, the same as kuchie, which would, for me, put this at 1895 to 1905, somewhere around there, going by the style of the carving, the color printing, and, you know, the physical characteristics of this print. So Dave is going to put his finger on the calendar and say 1900, give or take 5 years each side. And what is it? We have the name of a newspaper here. And this is, I think it's Miyako Shimbun. I'm going to need some help here. Sadako, Miyako Shimbun Bu.
Miyako Shimbun Furoku.
Oh, Furoku. Bu. It's bu, but pronounced fu. Okay. Okay, Furoku. How do we describe Furoku? It's a freebie. In the case of a newspaper, Shimbun Furoku, it's something that would have been stuck inside the newspaper. You're paying for the newspaper, you get your newspaper through the money you pay for it, and every now and then a freebie would be put inside. And not as in a supermarket advertising flyer, but as something, wow, some cool little bonus, a free insert, somebody is saying. But there's more to it than that. It's a nice little beautiful woodblock print, but there's a lot of text. I'm sorry, I'm not even going to be able to read it for you here. Some of it, look at this, Sadako, it looks repeated. Is it poetry? Do you see what I mean? Each line is repeating exactly the same here. It doesn't look like poetry to show.
3、5月、6月、11月。
Seasonal something. Maybe it's, yeah, we have months mixed in here. We'll get to, Sadako is a calligraphy teacher. Maybe we'll toss this to her later and she'll be able to help us figure out some of what this is. It might be part of a yearly calendar, a yearly schedule of events. It looks like we've got an illustration of a particular festival coming, you know. So my guess is it's something to do with that. Shimbun Furoku. And maybe it could be announcing the different freebies that are coming up over the next year. Something like this. I don't know. Oh, we've got a date. We've got a date. Look. I didn't even see that. We've got a date.
Meiji.
Where are we? It's right to left. It's Meiji 27. So?
1月2日。そう、New Year.
That's right, and it's the second day of the year. It's a new. Okay, gang, Meiji 27, 1894. Is that within the parameters I said before? I think I said 1900 plus or minus 5. I've missed it by 1 year. I'm sorry. But yeah, there we are. And the same thing. This is Tokyo City. Here's the address.
Kojimachi.
Kojimachi is still here to show. Kojimachi.
Kojimachi-ku.
Kojimachi-ku. Kojimachi was a ku?
In
the old days, yeah. So. Uchisaiwaicho. Toyo. No idea. Oh, it's the old way to write one. Okay, the numbering. Yeah. And we also have the carver's name. Look at this. We have the carver's name on here. I can't read the second character.
No, なんとか用土彫刻 the publisher's name.
No, carver's name. Chokoku is the carver's name.
But 彫り師じゃない彫刻なんとか用
Yeah, okay. No, Sadako, this tells us who carved it, but it's not a single man, it's a workshop. It'll be the workshop name. So. And I don't know. I can't read the second character, neither can she. So it's the carving workshop that prepared this. Very, very nice. It cost us next to nothing. Nobody else bid on it. Maybe because nobody else knew what it was. It just went by. It wasn't well described on the auction. Let me see if I can get the data there. One sec. Yahoo Auctions, the ones we bought. Posters, here we are. 2,000 yen we paid. 2,000 yen. For me, this is just, it's one of those just, I can't believe with such a little small amount of investment how stuff like this can fall into my hands. Absolutely beautifully carved and printed. How old? It's now 2024, so this is 130 years old. I mean, give me a break. Someone's saying, can we do anything to remove the folds? I could do. At the moment, what we're going to do is it won't be ever folded again. It's going to go into one of our large folios. I'm not sure because of the vermilion. If it wasn't for the vermilion, I would be able to bath this, lay it flat, and that would get rid of most of the creases and folds. But because of this vermilion, I'm not going to do that. This is just simply going to go in storage, and after the next 100 years of being laid flat, the folds will kind of flatten out. It doesn't need me to do anything. But again, the vermilion could be water soluble, and it's not worth the risk for me to bath this. If it wasn't for the vermilion, absolutely, we could bath it and flatten it. So somebody's saying heat it slightly, put it under weights, whatever. The vermilion here is, I believe, water soluble, and it would run in water. Somebody's got a link to this. Harashobo, look at this. There you are. Tsukiyaka Kogyo. Thank you very much, sir. Is that the same print we're looking at right now? Somebody has used this information to find it. Can I click the link? Is it safe to click this link? Harashobo, of course. We've got it. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And his wasn't folded, maybe. Look at that. Very nice. Thank you for the information. Very much. Who was that? Chocolate eggs, please. Lost for words. Sadako, somebody found another copy in a print shop downtown.
Still exist?
No, I mean another copy of this print. It's around. There would have been thousands printed, you know. A newspaper, Furoku. Everybody who subscribed to the newspaper would have got one. Everybody. Okay, let's leave it there for the moment. Let's do the next one. There's no price because they've sold it, I guess. At some point it would have been on sale. Here we go. Now we have another one. I don't have a date on this one, and I'm not sure if we're going to be able to find it. There would be a way to find the date on this because this is a poster describing an event. And other things like magazine advertising or newspaper stories must refer to this event somewhere. I don't think I have access to that information. But let's see. This is a poster. Date on this one, all I'm going to say is pre-war. I will put my finger on the Taisho period rather than the Meiji period. And we have a woodblock printed poster from the Mitsukoshi department store. And again, I did not expect to get this. This was on Yahoo Auctions a couple of weeks ago. Nobody bid for it. The hammer fell at 1,000 yen. It's actually kind of junk. It's not like a Hiroshige original woodblock print, but oh my God, woodblock print poster for a department store. Taisho. It's all, you can see the brush marks, you can see the barren marks. It's actually, you can see the cut marks. Down here there's tamari on the fish. It's a freaking woodblock print.
This looks like a scribble.
Well, that's how they carved it, of course. I mean, the calligrapher drew the calligraphy, and then the carver just carved what he saw. You can see the baran suji. Yeah, it's a woodblock print. That's just how they did it. I know the drawing style, lettering style just tells me Taisho. There may be a date. We've got I don't know, dates, but not a year. We have Hachigatsu Tsuitachi Yori Sanjuichi Nichi Made. So from the 1st of August to the last day of August, there's an event happening. It's a kodomo.
Okosama.
Okosama. Okay. It's a kids fish scooping event, and normally that would be Kingyo Tsukui. This one is using different characters.
Zatsugyo.
Zatsugyo.
Mixed kinds of
Yeah,
fish.
different kinds of fish. So kids go in front of a pool, they've got a little paper net, and you got to try and scoop out the fish. And the fish you scoop out, you get to take home. The fish, they go home with you in a little, these days it's a little plastic bag. They wouldn't have had plastic bags back in the Taisho period. How would the kids have carried the fish home? I don't know. And the fish would then die or whatever at some point. But it's not an event that I would really want to encourage. They still do it in Japan, summer festivals. Kids scoop goldfish with paper nets, put them in a plastic bag, take it home, and the fish, something happens to the fish, whatever. And this is Ginza Mitsukoshi. So just when this event was, it would be traceable. The drawing style is cartoonish, but this just, it's so much in line with Dave's thing. I like seeing woodblock prints used in any area of daily life. You got some more information?
Those two kanjis are red. Zako.
Let me try and get the kanji you're talking about are nani. The one you said zatsu. Ko, that's fish. Gyo.
Yeah.
Yeah, twisting from gyo to ko. So meaning many different kinds of fish.
Leftover.
Leftover.
So.
Okay, if you say so.
Sorry, small fish.
Small fish. Okay, well that makes sense, you know. And the location here, it's on Rokkai Veranda Nite. Veranda Nite means what? Veranda. The 6th floor, the veranda on the 6th floor. Rokkai Veranda Nite. Nichi.
Nite wa at veranda.
Nite.
The place.
Okay, I'm not quite sure why they would say
Preposition.
Nite. Okay. So the event is happening on the 6th floor, whatever. So.
Balcony.
But these fish would, I mean, people are saying parts of fish. No, these are living fish to show. The fish are going to be swimming around in water and the kids are going to be scooping them up. But not just goldfish. Tadpoles, I don't know how realistic we can accept this. I don't have any idea. But anyway, for me, this is actually a treasure. It's quote, worthless, unquote. I don't know. I don't care. Nobody else felt it was worth bidding on. As I said, the hammer fell at 1,000 yen for me. But to me, it's a treasure because I want to show woodblock prints as part of everybody's daily life. They must have commissioned a woodblock workshop to make this, and some printers must have made 1 copy, 2 copies, 3 copies. They put them up on all over town or in the shop or something. I don't know. Absolute treasure. There we have it. Woodblock prints. Tokyo had way more wilderness, so I'm not so sure. This is downtown Tokyo. This is the Ginza area, major department store in the Ginza. This is as urban as it gets in that day. The fish supply, no idea, whatever. I don't think they would be fish from the sea. It would be goldfish and stuff like that. So, can I show the cuts on the fish a bit closer? Are these meant to be realistic depictions of the fish that are involved? I don't know. I think it's just fishy fish for the poster. I don't know. The pigments used here are really not very good pigments, and we have transfer on the back. We have some of the if I can get your zoom out a bit more, it's been folded and kept in a moist environment. So like the vermilion from the red seal has transferred across the fold. What you're seeing here is an echo of that seal. We see the same things here, up and down. The red on her basket, the red on her basket is transferred up here. The blue of her hair is transferred here. So it's been kept folded face to face in a very damp environment. And these are not high quality pigments. So a lot of it has, you can see the mirror image across this. So what we will do now, same as I told you a few minutes ago, this will now go into a flat file. This will never, ever, ever be folded again. It's finally, after 100 years, not quite 100 years, found a home where it can be taken care of safely, shown to people and chatted about. Okay, I think we're done for time. You and I have got to get busy with this shop. Thank you very much, gang. Today's Saturday. Monday, I do plan to be here. I skipped out last Monday to go up to the papermaking village. I have no plan to do that this week, but then I didn't have a plan last week either. I do intend to be here Monday morning carving away on these Patreon chibi prints. But for sure, over the next couple of months, we are going to be very active in getting our papermaking project moved forward. And there will be times, almost sure, when I will be out of here for business meetings up there. Hopefully, I'll see you in 2 more days. I've had fun with this today. Maybe I've chatted too much. I don't know how much work, how much talk. I don't know. Thanks to all the people who tossed in really, really fun comments. I'll see you in a couple of days, if I survive the next 8 hours. Thanks again. I'll see you now. Here, look at this coming down the street. They have already begun. It's 9:30 in the morning and they're already up and running. Is he going to point us out? I don't think so. Our shutter's half closed. You can't really see the poster. He might point us out. No, not this guy. Oh, the Spider-Man. That's what he pointed out. It's a competition between my Mario poster and the Spider-Man poster next door. See you in a couple of days. 3, 2, 1, away we go.